Why did I cover? I don't know why I didn't cover this story. But yeah, Amtrak Mardi Gras service is here. Well, it's been here for a month, but we're gonna act like it's here right now. But yeah, no, this is interesting. I love how they put the ACS 64 in the front. This is great. Is a great story for New Orleans, and yeah, so let's go.
Here, huh? Mobile gets its sneak peek at Amtrak today. Amtrak's Mardi Gras service, as it's called, held its inaugural run between New Orleans and Mobile for the media and dignitaries today. It was definitely a festive atmosphere and talk about the future. Amtrak pulled into downtown Mobile for its inaugural run this afternoon to a warm down-home welcome. It marks the first passenger train service along the Gulf Coast from New Orleans to Mobile since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Amtrak President Roger Harris talked about why he believes this route, and rail in general, is important.
The thing about transportation, rail in particular, is it brings people together. It really does. It connects communities, it brings people together, and it creates economic activity. And that's what's really important for this region, and I think it's true everywhere in the country.
Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimson was among those riding the train in from New Orleans.
I've never been on the train from Mobile to New Orleans, and it's beautiful scenery. A lot of it across the marshes in the Pontchartrain, Lake Pontchartrain. It's just something to see.
Amtrak's president also talked about whether there's a target number of passengers you'd like to see ride the train.
Typically, passenger trains run 60, 70% load factor, so percentage.
I need to go on. I don't know why I just popped in my head, but I need to be on an inaugural run for some train. I can't keep missing it because I'm in college. I keep on missing all these inaugural runs, and I keep on watching them, all these parties and stuff, and I get jealous. I'm like, why am I not there?
Seats filled. So we'll be very interested to see how that develops, and hopefully we can get enough demand that we actually need more equipment on the route.
And with the route being called the Mardi Gras service, Mayor Stimson was asked if he thought more people would go from Mobile to New Orleans to see Mardi Gras there, or vice versa.
It's going to be interesting to see which way more people go, whether we have more people going, trains full going to New Orleans, or train fulls coming to Mobile. And there's no way I can predict that.
And a lot of people will be watching the numbers as the service moves full speed ahead.
Amtrak's Mardi Gras service on the Gulf Coast has been operating for about a month. The full numbers
Okay,
aren't
why
available.
do they keep using this? Why do they keep on using this ACX 64? What's going on? You know what? It's so funny because the news, like main media, just looks at a train and they're like, "Train is train," and then it's like, why are you guys still using this? It's all right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys rock, but I feel like sometimes I'm just like, we gotta do better a little bit.
Well, just yet. However, data from the first 15 days, it's positive, showing the trains were close to full. During that period, 6,700 people took the train, an average of 447 a day. They've been about 65% full. That exceeds the national average. Saturday has been the most popular day for travel. The average price for the fare there is $26 per coach.
$26? Oh man, that's so like $26 is so cheap. Like business is only $64. I mean, the line isn't super long, but it's like man, like those are the fares I like to see when it comes to like intercity travel, because that to me is actually an attractive fare, especially when it comes to a train. Like you're telling me I can actually get up and walk around and all that type of stuff. Like that right there is an attractive fare. So yeah, and then you can see it's obviously because now you have people who are traveling from 3 to 8 people, right? So that's like groups of people who are like, hey, let's take a day trip together. And to have a coach fare that low, that kind of incentivizes people to do that, which is interesting.
$64 for business class. The new service was made possible by a subsidy from the city of Mobile, and it's only a 3-year commitment. Our Brendan Kirby asking the two candidates for mayor what they plan to do beyond that.
Building the political support to bring Amtrak back to Mobile was no easy task. The city council last year finally agreed to subsidize the service for 3 years. Whether it continues beyond that might depend on the next mayor of Mobile. The contract with Amtrak to run.
Hey, 3 years is a 3 years is enough, you know. That's at least longer than SEPTA, so they're getting somewhere, especially with all the new equipment coming in to Amtrak. So we have the new Aero train sets coming in for the Northeast Corridor. That should push around a lot of those Am fleets. The Horizons are being worked on as well, so they might be come back, which means that Amtrak is going to have a surplus of equipment, and that means that these trains can get longer. So then Amtrak can actually lower the fares a little bit more, which would also increase the ridership as well. So I think 3 years isn't just enough for there to be some actual change, which is nice.
On 2 daily trains between the port city and New Orleans.
Oh yeah, make the Sunset Limited again. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I feel like the political will to make the Sunset Limited daily again is just like not there. It just doesn't exist. We'll see. Maybe the Mardi Gras service, maybe that will, you know, change some minds politically or like reset the tone. Because I remember, like, the more people that actually use public transportation and have a positive experience with public transportation, the better. Because then that means that politicians will actually be willing to go ahead and fund more of these projects, but also make it so that there's more service.
New Orleans required a subsidy with a little more than $3 million from Mobile taxpayers.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
The debate dragged on and ended on a yes vote only after Mayor Sandy Stimpson got commitments from the Port of Mobile and Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's office to split that cost. Council members emphasized after the vote last year that Amtrak shouldn't expect to come back asking for more money at the end of that 3-year term. For passenger rail to succeed long-term, they said, it would have to find another revenue source. Against that backdrop, the two candidates vying to succeed Mayor Stimpson have different views on the matter. State Representative Barbara Drummond enthusiastically supports extending the contract. Former Mobile County District Judge Spiro Cherrygatis is more cautious.
I was on the infant part of that, of getting the Amtrak, and I'm so happy I had an opportunity to talk to then Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. So I am elated and would be happy because that's an incentive.
If we make it daily, it would no longer be limited. Well, that's actually a great point. You know what? Let's cut back service a little bit more because then we can make it even more limited. So we can call it the Sunset Even More Limited. It really is an upgrade when you think about it because we're really staying true to the name. This is actually the type of logic that transit agencies use. They'll cut service and then be like, well, the service cut is actually service improvement.
That's going to bring people into our city.
Cherrygatis says he looks forward to riding the train to New Orleans with his children and going to the zoo. But he says future financial support from the city should be contingent on performance.
I'd like to see growth. You know, if I see an upward tick and then stagnation, I think we really have to reevaluate what we're doing. But if we see
growth in terms of
passengers, riders, you know, hopefully, you know, dollars coming into our city.
This is just one of many issues in the race. Voters don't have long to decide. The election is Tuesday. Reporting in Mobile, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
I think, well, it's a success right now, but it's only been a month. And of course, like that first month of a new train service there'll obviously be like that ridership jump. But then we just need to see what happens afterwards, if this ridership can keep up. And if the people who are actually taking the train are getting off in Mobile and stuff like that and actually spending money in Mobile, because that's the only way that the city will continue to pay for the service, which makes sense to me, because like it is good to have the trains there, but if nobody is using it so that they can get off in your city and start spending their money on stores and stuff like that within your city, then I don't think that the service is going to be worth it for the city to continue paying for. So it does make sense. I understand that doesn't seem like any people here are like actually trying to derail this on purpose. I think that everything they're saying like kind of adds up.